everybody, welcome to another Common Grounds Meet the Members. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jo Stevens and I'm the coordinator of Common Grounds Women in Business Network. Now, thanks for taking the time to check in and learn more about our amazing Common Ground members. Now, Common Grounds provides coffee meetups for women in business to network and connect with like-minded women in business. Now, we have an amazing diverse group of women who come along to our networking events, but I wanted to make sure that people out there got to learn more about them as well. And that is why I started the vlog chat. It's to help you and help the incredible women that come along to our network or part of our network, spread the word about what they do and why they do what they do. Now, today I'm joined by Amanda Mackay. Welcome, Amanda. Hello, how are you?
Hello, thank you.
Amanda, would you
It's
like
great
to
to see
start?
you.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely love having you here. Amanda, do you want to start by telling everybody the name of your business and just what it is and what it is that you do?
Yes, certainly. So my business is Biofield Being. We are a sound therapy business. So we have a few little aspects to our business. We offer sessions in person and distantly for people with sound therapy. We have workshops, we have practitioner trainings, we have our actual product range, which is a range of tuning forks. Which we've developed ourselves. We have audios, we have a podcast, YouTube channel, lots of free resources for people as well. So if they can't come in, there's always things for them to download and listen to when it's convenient for them. So we have such a range of products and resources and offerings for people. So it helps a lot of different aspects like sleep, body pain, pelvic pain, just such a range of things. We have mostly women who come. So we focus a lot on things like pelvic pain, menopause, perimenopause, relationships too. That's really big to help people with, and all different types of relationships. Because we
Absolutely. Yeah,
find
so
too
much
now
that.
that, people are living multi-generationally in homes and things like that
Mm.
too, and they're looking after kids and, parents getting older and all of those sort of things. So yeah, it's so diverse,
So
but a lot of fun too.
when you talk about like the tunes and the sound things, can you like explain a little bit more about what that is? So for some people listening and they might not be sure about what it is that you actually do.
Certainly. So we use tuning forks. And I do have a very big range of tuning forks myself, as you can imagine. So this is what we call a weighted tuning fork. And it's called weighted because it has these little weights on the ends. And so when you activate these, they vibrate. So this is 174 hertz. That means it vibrates 174 times per second. So that's a lot of vibration.
And
And
does
then when
that
you put the
vibration go through your
stem,
body? Is that right?
yeah, yeah. So when you put that on your body, you can really feel it deeply. So, when you go and have a massage and you can feel it, they're doing this. When we use this, it releases those muscles a lot quicker. There's no pain involved, like having someone dig their fingers or elbows into you. And it goes deeper, it goes down to a cellular level. So it's releasing that tightness and stress from really deep in the body, and that's why it's so effective and works so quickly for people. So you might come in and you have back pain or knee pain or hip pain, even neck and shoulders from the stress. But because this goes so deep into the body, it relaxes it. It's like having, 10 massages at once and it's not painful. And
So
you get
that
to relax while you're in there as
Oh,
well.
that sounds amazing. So that's like your face-to-face ones when you can come in and you have like the little tuning forks and I know that you do like a
Yeah.
sound healing. Is that correct? The other thing that you offer as well is that part of
Yes. So we have a sound lounge.
oh,
So it actually vibrates and it has music through it as well. So your whole body is receiving this vibration. Now, this helps to upregulate the nervous system. So, you have your sympathetic nervous system and your parasympathetic nervous system, and it helps to balance them. So it's like taking your body out of the survival, fight, or flight, and then helping that rest and digest. with the nervous system as well. So the whole body's receiving that. Then we're using tuning forks as well on the body, and then in the energy field around the body as well. Because, if you're too close to people or they're really in your space, it feels uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's because they're really coming into that energy field that is you around your body. So that holds tension and stress also because it's a part of us. So we use the forks in the field because that's where there's energy, like emotions attached to memories sitting there as well. And when we can diffuse the heightened state that you feel when you recall something, it's a memory, but it takes you back to that place. When we can break that circuit and stop that, it's like you can remember things, but there's not the stress attached to it.
Oh, wow.
Because the body doesn't know any different. So the body, if you're feeling that, thinks it's a threat that's happening now.
Okay.
And it could be emotional or physical, but the body, it doesn't know any different. So we're breaking that circuit, that loop that keeps you in that state of stress, because oftentimes they run in the back of your mind. And it's all this stuff that's sort of like on autopilot. The stress is on autopilot. So we're trying to break that with the tuning forks and the vibration. Once you change your vibration that goes out like this from you, what comes back to you is different.
Absolutely.
So, you might notice
that.
people, so you might notice people who are out and they're always angry. So they're getting customer service or whatever it is, and they're looking for a fight. They're looking to express that stress. It's like releasing a pressure valve. So what we're doing is helping that release without it having to get to those places where it feels uncomfortable or there's a confrontation or things like that. Yeah, so it's helping people really be more at ease on a daily basis, regulating their emotions.
Sounds amazing. Now you talked about though, so that's your face to face and coming in and seeing you, and you did talk about that you do healings like virtually, because here we are, we're chatting virtually. So there's people like probably might be struggling with their mental well-being or needing this what we've just been talking about. How does that work then virtually?
Okay, so if you think about you can listen to an audio of a meditation and it will help you feel calmer. So it's no different to really listening to any song. They evoke a different emotion. They help you feel a different way. So when we either record an audio or we do it distantly like this over Zoom or Google Meet or even over the telephone, we're connecting into what that person feels. So by talking and telling people, this is what I'm sensing, this is where we're going to be working, or they come and they say, I've got so much stress, I really need a tuning, and they talk about what it is. So we're working on going back into history. Well, what is it that's actually, again, like a magnet, bringing this experience in? So I do work with people all over Australia, all over the world, and you can go and have a look at our 5-star reviews on Google. People are saying they have distant work and it really is what helps them, again, diffuse, release that pressure valve of stress so they can get back to a more regulated state. So if you think about it, there is no boundary on anything. The fact that we can communicate distantly shows that we can heal distantly. We can tune people distantly.
Absolutely.
People are having doctor's appointments and psychiatry appointments distantly now. So it's not really uncommon anymore. People really understand that we can do this wherever we are. It's connecting with the person that you really resonate with and getting that help from that person, no matter where they are.
Absolutely. I love that. And you were saying before that, like, a lot of your clients are women because let's be honest, women, we're so much more in tune with ourselves, and men are coming on board with that. But is that like you find that's your target market, or is it like really you find that it's sometimes it's like the women first and then the family comes in with that afterwards as well? Do you find that that's the connection?
Usually, yes. So
Mm.
it is often the woman who comes. I still have male clients that come because they're really, been researching and all of those sort of things. But if the woman comes, usually then they'll bring other members of the family. So whether that's children, parents, other, partners, whatever it is, they will bring other people and say, you've really got to go and try this because it changed my life. So that's one of the biggest comments I get is it changed my life. Because when
Fantastic.
you're not stressed in your everyday life, your whole family runs better, your household, whatever that looks like, your relationships at work are different. You're not coming across that static and that feeling uncomfortable. And when's this going to go wrong? You're not
Absolutely.
looking for those things. So it doesn't come
100%.
into your awareness and you don't experience it. So things just really change. And one of those things is body pain. So we store the emotions and the stress in the body, and then it's expressed as body pain. So whether it's going back to, I do work with women a lot with birth, they've gone through, at least one birth process or multiple, and what was going on at that time. They were stressed, they were working, their husband wasn't great, there was a business that wasn't going well, and they're trying to hold everything together. It's like they're hanging on to everything, and then they're birthing, and then they've got another human to take care of, and it's so overwhelming. And
Absolutely.
even though it could be a few years down the track, that is still being held in the body, that stress. And then
Oh,
there's
goodness gracious, yeah. Mine's 25 and I still have that stress from her in my life.
yeah, so
Absolutely.
that creates inflammation, and then it could be hip pain or however that comes through, and by releasing that out of the body, it changes even 25 years later. you know
I can't wait. I'm going to be going to having a sound healing and tuning next month. So I have to tell you all how it is. I can't wait to have it done. Now, Amanda, can you tell everybody how long have you been in business for? Because I mean,
okay,
some
so
people they might be hearing this for the first time, but I know, like from conversations with you, you've been in business now for quite a while.
yeah, so I've been in this business for 11 years, and it has been I've got to be honest, it's been a long haul,
Yeah.
because if you think back 11 years ago, sound healing wasn't really well known.
Mm,
You know, now most people know what a sound bath is with singing bowls,
yes.
and meditation. Doctors are recommending meditation and all of those things. But 11 years ago, they weren't.
Yeah.
So it's taken a while to really build it, but it's been on reflection, it's been really good to actually have that time to build it too. Because now that people are really aware of their emotional wellness and mental health, I've got a really good established business. I've got so many offerings that I can help people with. And now I'm training other people to become tuning fork therapists as well. So I've
Yeah.
got all of that experience that I can really help people now with so much experience. And before that, I actually grew up with healing and meditation because my
Wow.
dad worked as an energy healer from like the early 80s. I think it was 1981 or something. And then he also took people through meditation. And my parents had one of the first health food stores in Brisbane. So I've really grown up with this. So it's not like I kind of came across it. It's
Yeah.
just been an evolution for me of
It's always
how
been
we
something that's
actually,
within your family that you like, been surrounded with, and then you've just grown into and now created your own, isn't that kind of thing?
yes,
Wow.
that's exactly it. Yes. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So it's been amazing to watch it over all those decades of how it's actually changed, and people are really embracing themselves and their own wellness, which is really, really lovely. And it's a privilege to be a part of it.
Absolutely. And it is great to see that more people are being, open to new things. And because, I was talking about this yesterday, actually, that I feel that we live in a more, like, life seems to be more stressful now because it's so fast paced. There's social media at us, there's like the news, there's all this other stuff that's happening. Where, like, when I was younger, there wasn't any of this stuff out there. So we weren't
Yeah.
in it 24/7. And I think that's the why now we're coming back to, I call this our roots, to be honest with you. It's like going out
Yeah.
in nature, feeling, really being mindful in our world and taking in like the beautiful sun, the breeze, everything. This is what we're coming back to, is where, that going out back into nature and realizing that we need to be more in tune with these things. And I think that's why we're becoming more open to learning new things. Do you feel that as well?
Yes, absolutely. It's really being present and
Mm,
connecting, like you say, into nature, which is connecting into ourselves.
yeah,
And that's where we're going to get the most peace. It's not with the external. If we're trying to identify with all of these external things, it just takes too much energy, where we are literally leaking energy to too many things,
yeah, absolutely.
and then we wonder why we're tired and exhausted. And, there's chronic fatigue and all of these sort of things, is because there's just so much going on. You're right. I didn't grow up with social media either.
Yeah,
We're the same generation.
yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
when we come home from school, that was it.
Yeah,
Your friend might ring you on a landline, but that was it. You didn't have contact with anyone, and you did actually get to rest and digest, and your nervous system would go back into that more balanced state, I think, because we didn't
absolutely.
have that contact. Yeah.
Well, I have to say, oh my gosh, I mean, I'm going to make sure that I share all your information, the website and the social follows, that people can find out more about you. But I'm going to end it with, like, what kind of advice now, especially, like, you've been in someone in business for such a long time, like, really, I mean, maybe it doesn't feel that way, but I know there's a lot of us, like, 3, 4 years, it seems like, oh, 10, 11 years, that's amazing. So what about you? Like, what is it that you would tell the women out there that are starting their business or been in it a couple of years? Do you have some advice that you would offer?
Oh, yeah. I've got a couple of things. Firstly, ask for help. Because I tried to do a lot of things myself and I have learnt a lot. But I think now I'm more likely to say that's really not my skill set. I'll do a bit of research so I understand what I'm talking, but really ask for help.
Yes.
It's okay to be vulnerable and say I don't understand that, because we're not supposed to know everything. Like, I'm great at what I do, but IT is not my thing.
Yeah.
So even though I've learnt a lot, I don't want to know so much that I'm doing it myself, because that will take me away from what I'm actually doing. So definitely asking for help. I think working on your own growth is really important, because we can start with an idea of business of this is what I want to do, but you haven't quite fine-tuned it yet. And a lot of that gets tied up with our own self-esteem.
Yes.
So it's working on ourselves means that we are whole as a person and we're still offering a business. When you connect that too much to you and it's not maybe going okay for that month, or it's been a hard year, you start thinking, well, what's wrong with me?
Mm,
Why is this not working? There's nothing wrong with you. It could be that, maybe you need to have a little bit of a different focus. Maybe you do need to ask for help. Maybe it's just the economy. Maybe it's something else. So not taking that as a personal thing with that. And I
absolutely.
would say, if you really love what you do, stick with it. Because I've had years where it's been like this. Like I said, it really has been, now is the time where people are really into what I do. But if I'd quit, then I would never have gotten here, you know? So I just kept going with what it was. Okay, so that didn't quite work. That didn't hit. So what might I change about that? And that's where seeking advice really helps.
Oh, I
from
love
someone who's been in business longer, and we should feel confident that someone will help us. There's someone out there who will, it's like a virtual hug, like, I got you, I can help you with this. Because other people see your business differently when they're looking from the outside in.
yeah.
And so many times people will say, geez, you're awesome. Look at all the things that you've done. And I still do that. People say, oh my God, look at everything you've done over the last year. But when you're doing it, you're kind of like, oh yeah, yeah, I finished that project
Still to
but
do.
yeah, exactly. Stop and reflect and go, you know what? That was awesome.
Yeah.
I really did do a good job with that. And that's not an ego. That's just like really appreciating how you're helping other people. And if you appreciate yourself, other people will too. So
100%. I love that. That is fantastic. And that is so true. And I'm hoping anybody who's listening is taking this on board because, we are our own worst enemy. We let that inner voice, I like to call it the inner bitch, take over. And we
inner
really
critic,
need to,
yes.
yes, we need to, like, as you say, reach out for help and take that time to go, look at me, look at what I've done and how much I've achieved. Even if it's
Yeah.
like the smallest of things, that's what we need to grab onto. I think that's
Yeah. It's a
important.
brave thing to start a business and think, I could got something to offer. So keep going with that feeling.
Absolutely. Oh, Amanda, I
Yeah.
have to say thank you so much. I really, really enjoyed our chat today, and I'm sure that others have as well. Please make sure that you follow Amanda. I will share all of her links in the if you on Facebook, Instagram, on YouTube. You will find it all there. You'll find us also at commongroundsbrisbane.com.au as well. Thank you so much, Amanda. I really appreciate your time, and thank
Yeah.
you everybody for listening.